Okay, so I found out about, and probably you've heard of it, how Dungeons and Dragons has this article about the diversity in Dungeons and Dragons, and it's Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big D&D fan, so I read the article. I was kind of interested. I haven't played any. I don't really play anything past first edition. I'm an OD&D first edition fan, but even though it's talking about fifth edition and Everon, which is I don't really care about, I was interested because it's Dungeons and Dragons. I'm just curious. So I wanted to see how they're yet again, causing geek culture to crash and burn. Now, I read the article, and I'll get to some of the article. And I'm reading the article, and I'm livid. I'm just absolutely pissed. I was so ready to just rant and like spend a 10, 15, 20 minute just rant fest about the level of stupid of what they were talking about, what they were doing. Except here's the thing. Luckily, I wanted to go check out because there's two books that they're talking about that actually that they're what's the word that they used? Sensitivity readers actually influenced. And the two books are Everon Rising from the Last War and The Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. Either Wildmount or Wildemount. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even care. So I checked the two books. It's not even virtue signaling. It's not even they're not even This is what Wizards of the Coast, and I'll explain it. This is what they're doing. They are giving such an insignificant change with such an insignificant value to it, but we did this little bit. Look at how diverse we are. Look at how they did nothing. It's a joke. I have to go to the article. Okay, there's an aspect. There's this one line in the article that I read that just I had to rant again because it's throughout there's a few paragraphs, but it's not that really important. It's just blah blah blah. Throughout the 50-year history of D&D, some of the peoples in the game. Okay, first of all, there's your first mistake. Okay, this is how I know the people doing this have absolutely no idea. Okay, they're not called peoples, you morons. Okay, they're humanoids, humans, or demi-humans. Now, maybe in 5th edition, they somehow changed it. I haven't gone past 1st edition. Okay, I read 2nd, I read 3rd, I read 4th. I didn't pay attention. Are they no longer, are elves, gnomes, dwarves, halflings, are they no longer classified as demi-humans? Are orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, are they no longer classified as humanoids? Or are they all just classified as goblin? Even if they're classified as all as goblinoids, they're still goblinoids. They're not peoples. Like this is the problem with this is the extreme conclusion end result of the templates. Okay? You guys have to template every goddamn humanoid, goblinoid, creature, monster, anything. You had to have a template for everything. Well, now all of a sudden, every creature, every monster is a template to a possible D&D player. Which, as an added jab, this is how I can establish how 5th edition sucks so bad. That you players are more interested in creating new type diverse characters and interesting builds because the game itself doesn't offer enough. The game doesn't. All you give a shit about is the combination of bonuses, stats, and abilities that each build gives. It's not even about playing the game. It's about playing the stat build that you thought up. Anyway, I get back to this article. Orc and Drow being two of the prime examples. Now, this line just floored me. Just absolutely floored me. Have been categorized as monstrous and evil. how can you be part of Dungeons and Dragons, write that line, and not understand how goddamn stupid you are? Of course the orcs and drow have been characterized as monstrous and evil. You want to know why? Let me think. Because they're monsters and they're evil. Like, do you no longer have alignments in 5th edition? Oh wait, you do. Except in the books that they're mentioning, right? Everon Rising from the Last War and Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, you don't. Again, I'll get to that. I'll get to it. Using descriptions that are painfully reminiscent of how real-world ethnic groups have been and continue to be denigrated. Okay, I don't know how the drow have changed in 5th edition, but are the drow no longer the masters of the Underdark? How aren't the drow like the top of the hierarchy in the Underdark, or at least near the top? How are they being denigrated? And the orcs, they're cannon fodder. Orcs, goblins, kobolds, bugbears. Okay, maybe not so much bugbears. They're cannon fodder. Like, the only way you can make that statement is if you've never read the books, never played the game, and have absolutely no idea what the hell you're talking about. That's just not right. And it's not something we believe in. Well, apparently, you did. You did believe in it because, okay, I'm going to have to, hold on. Despite our conscious efforts to the contrary, we have allowed some of those old descriptions to reappear in the game. We recognize that to live our values, we have to do an even better job in handling these issues. If we make mistakes, our priority is to make things right. No, they aren't. There's just so much to talk about here. Hold on. We present orcs and drow in a new light in 2 of our most recent books, Everon Rising and Explorers. In those books, orcs and drow are just as morally and culturally complex as other peoples. The fact that you're calling them peoples, it just blows me away. We will continue that approach in future books, portraying all the peoples of D&D in relatable ways and making it clear that they are as free as humans to decide who they are and what they do. This is all about the fact that they're establishing them as templates so that you can play them as characters, which already exists, except, so I wanted to check the language because, again, they're talking about the drow have been categorized using descriptions that are painfully reminiscent of how real-world ethnic groups have been and continue to be denigrated. So, why don't we read the 5th edition book, Monster Manual, for Orcs. Let's read the description. I probably can't read all of it, otherwise I'll probably get shut down. Now, I'm not even going to read the 1st edition ones. I'm going to read the 5th edition. Orcs are savage raiders and pillagers with stooped postures, low foreheads, and piggish faces with prominent lower canines that resemble tusks. Hey, Wizards of the Coast! Hey, you, sensitivity readers! What race is that? What race are they talking about? Oh, we're not talking about physical aspects. Oh, good. Let's talk about their aspects. Orcs gather in tribes that exert their dominance and satisfy their bloodlust by plundering villages, devouring or driving off roaming herds, and slaying any humanoids that stand against them. So apparently humanoids are. After savaging a settlement, orcs pick it clean of wealth and items usable in their own lands. They set the remains of villages and camps ablaze, then retreat whence they came, their bloodlust satisfied. Okay, Wizards of the Coast. Okay, you sensitivity readers. What race are they representing? They're not. There is no race that they're representing. The closest you can get is they're representing the what you classify as the white evil race. You know how white people are inherently evil and they're colonization and they take over and they control. Apparently, the closest race orcs, the description for orcs are white people. It's not black people. Are you telling me, Wizards of the Coast, and you diversity and you sensitivity readers, that's what you think black people are like? We don't think. None of us think that black people are like that. You actually have to think that's what black people are. You know, the black savages from Africa and the you know those tribesmen. You actually look at black people and that's what you see. Nobody else does. You are literally outing yourself, establishing that you think that's what black people are like. What other race? Indian? Hindu? What? Oriental? Which race is that describing? That's the description of orcs that bothered Wizards of the Coast and bothered the sensitivity readers. Now, I gotta read you what they did in, which one is this? Everon Rising from the Last War. This is their orcs. This is the thing that you're supposed to care about that they did so much. This is what they changed. In this book, apparently, chaotic evil, lawful evil, neutral evil, lawful good, they don't exist. This is their heading, this is their description under alignment. The orcs of Everon are a passionate people. They're a passionate people. The orcs they're not even classified as humans now. They're a passionate people, given to powerful emotion and deep faith. They are generally chaotic, but can be any alignment. That's their big ass change. That's their big ass change that they want to promote and push to everybody, going, look at how diverse, look at how again, it's not even virtue signaling. It's doing butt fuck nothing and acting and trying to present it like it's a big ass deal. And not only that, then we have the Wildemount. It's its own setting. It's not even part of Everon. You can't even take this bull. I can't even get mad at this bullshit because it's such bullshit. It's not even bullshit to get mad at. It's such insignificant nothing. The description is pretty much the same, right? It's nothing. What else was in the article? Like, to do this, to write this bullshit, to write this absolute joke of a post, you're literally admitting you have no idea what alignment is. You have no idea about goblinoids, humanoids. You have no idea how the game. You have to not know how the game works to even say any of this bullshit, unless you're going, we don't care how dumb we look. We want to show all the diversity that all the SJWs or whatever, that diversity crowd. Look at how much we're doing. It's not like any of the diversity crowd are going to read the books or play the game or even care. It's not like they're redoing the core books and the core game elements. It's nothing. And this is here's the other, here's like a side thing about this, because I actually researched it. You got all these other YouTubers who pretend that they're part of geek culture, who are just, they don't even know anything. You got so many YouTubers ranting about this thing because they have no goddamn clue about Dungeons and Dragons. They don't even read any of this. They don't. Like, the level of fail on this is astounding. It goes to Wizards of the Coast. It goes to the sensitivity readers. It goes to the commenters or people doing comments who have no goddamn clue, don't care, probably don't even play the goddamn game any more than the people on the sensitivity readers. And then as much as they are YouTubers, you got YouTubers who are talking about this, who literally admit they don't even play Dungeons and Dragons, but hey, they get to bitch, they get to pretend that they get to bitch about SJWs, even though they have no goddamn clue how insignificant this change is. And here's another aspect I wanted to bring up. Why is it that they're not? I found it odd because later on in the article, they go, in Curse of Strahd included a people known as the Vistani and featured the Vistani heroine Esmeralda. Regrettably, their depiction echoes some stereotypes associated with the Romani people in the real world. Now, you're going, what's the big deal? Well, here's the thing. They actually explain who the Vistani represents and why it's a problem. Okay, Wizards of the Coast. Okay, you sensitivity readers, bullshit artists. Why aren't you telling us what real world race the Drow and the Orc represent? You're not. You're purposely keeping it vague because if we ask you, ask Wizards of the Coast, what race, obviously nobody's watching this video, and even if they did, nobody got this far, but on the odd chance. People, ask Wizards of the Coast, ask whoever these sensitivity writers, what race do the Orcs and Drow represent? So that way, when they actually say what race they are, what race they represent, you can ask them how. And when they can't answer it, or when they have to establish their already racist, biased viewpoint of black people, they'll reveal they're the actual racists. They're the ones that are depicting black people as, or they're the ones who are saying black people represent the. Remember, the Orc description in 5th edition classifies them as wild savages. Who could that possibly be? I've probably already gone too far on this video. There was just so much I wanted to rail against because this is a joke. This isn't even worth getting. I wanted to get mad over this, and believe me, I was ready to give, a 20-minute rant on just bitching about it. But after checking it out, it's nothing. It's little bullshit that Wizards of the Coast is hoping it knows the diversity crowd that are demanding this, that are okay with this, aren't even gonna know or check what the change was. And even if they do, they're so pathetic that even that little insignificant bit is enough for them anyway. It's not even a new paint job. You're literally, I don't even know what I could use as a simile. It's like they polished one little, they painted over one little nail on an entire house and went, look, it's a new house. Look how you didn't do nothing, Wizards of the Coast. You didn't do jack shit. Anyway, rant's over. Gotta let this all out. Apparently YouTube videos are my therapy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this was hilarious. This is a joke. This is insignificant. Means nothing. There's supplement books that nobody like. Who even bought Everon? Those two books anyway. And who? The 12, maybe what, the 200 people, and they're probably not even going to use those rules anyway. They're just, it's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger that they're trying to pretend is a whole new menu. That's a good example. Anyway. God, I love talking to a camera because God knows nobody got this far anyway. Might as well shut up. I'm out of here. See ya.